I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Dylan Boyton.
We are Pop Cultures, and this is our dissection of Dishonored 2. Now, Dylan, have you played Dishonored 2?
No, I haven't.
Played Dishonored 1?
Oh.
Off to a great start. Well, lucky enough, I've been able to get my hands on Dishonored 2. Thanks to our buddies over at Reboot PR, who do the PR for Bethesda. Thank you very much. Dishonored 2 takes place 15 years after the first one. And is set in the town of Kanaka.
Oh.
Weird name, right?
Yeah.
And the basic storyline sort of starts with Emily, who's the daughter of Corvo, who's the guy you played in the first one.
Oh.
Yeah, so you get to come in the second one. So she's now the Empress of the Isle. She's the queen. Mm-hmm. You've got Corvo, her father, as her royal protector. He's there to do it.
Right.
There's a guy called the Crown Killer who's killing people in the name of the crown.
Right.
And which is, uncalled for because these are unsolicited kills, man.
Yes, you don't just kill people.
No. And then, to make things worse, her long-lost aunt rocks up, claims that she's the heir to the throne.
Oh.
Shit goes down in the throne room. Then you pick your character, because you can either play as Emily or as Corvo. Mm-hmm. Then the game begins.
Oh, so would you say that she's a killer queen?
Oh, dang. Yeah, she is. Yeah, so she rocks up
and... I'm going to interrupt you there, because I'm so excited about the story. Tell me about the gameplay. So... essentially, what kind of game is it? It's a first person?
It's a first person stealth orientated game. Mm-hmm. So the whole idea is you're in the shadows and you jump and you kill or you stun or it is straight up stealth. See, I'm used to games like Metal Gear Solid, which is stealth, but it's sort of not really. It's quite forgiving in some ways, but this is not in the slightest. You get seen, you are fucked. Period.
So you can't choose to go all out?
Oh, yeah, no.
Stealth?
You can. What I'm saying, you can go two ways. You can go what they call low chaos or high chaos. High chaos is where you just run in the room and stab people.
Right.
Which I eventually ended up doing. Because I started trying to do low chaos. I'm like, alright. I kept getting busted. I'm like, So I'm sneaking. I was like, hey. I'm like, And it's just bodies. I'm like, I just gotta go chaos. I enter a room, I do kind of get into the banisters like Batman it. Yeah. Just except for the stabbing, but it doesn't really do the stabbing. So, another thing you can really do, what's really cool as well, is you have outside of just the general jumping and stabbing and shooting, you have supernatural powers that help you manipulate people or traverse environments. An example is Emily has one called Far Reach. So what she does is you do this, and there's a cool little arc, and you can teleport to where the arc is. So it's really handy to be if you want to be stealthy, stab, quit, and they're oh, and then you jump back, and then you stab a bunch of dudes, and you go back. Yeah.
So you're saying Emily has this reach ability.
Mm-hmm.
Are there differences between Emily and Corvo?
They are. Now, inherently, they are somewhat the same, but there are difference enough to make a different game if you play it again.
So can you alternate between character, or you choose to play it through as one character?
No, once you pick it from that throne room scene, that's it. Okay. Decision made.
Cool.
So I played through as Emily, and I went back to play as Corvo for a little bit to sort of see what the differences were. Mm-hmm. Now, one power that's really cool as well with Emily is what's called Domino. So, I think it's Domino? Yeah. So, if there was 3 people in the room, you connect all 3 of them by a telepathic link. Mm-hmm. So then whatever happens to that one person happens to the others. So if you're in a room, you're like, shit, alright, ping, it's really handy. If you need to clear your room fast, really handy. Because those guards, as well as the regular guards are unforgiving in the slightest. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, and they will just hack and slash you, and it's just you will die. All I've done, I've died. You've heard of Dark Souls, right? Yeah. Which is that game that just murders you all the time. Yeah. This is second to that. All I did was die. And then they introduced the Clockwork Guards, which are these big 8-foot robots with 4 blades for arms that can see through the front and the back of their head. And they're insane.
And the regular guards are getting you down.
Yeah, the regular guards make me mad. So then when I bumped into the Clockwork guys, I was like...
Now, the thing I saw during the E3 presentation was the way that the city was a big part of it, the design of the world, and the people going about there every day. You can kind of follow the pattern of their work
100%. So, like, at the start of the game, you do get to see a little bit of Dunwall, which is the original from, like, the original city from Dishonored 1.
Okay.
Which is very dark and gloomy and very sort of Old English. That's what you would expect. So when you arrive at Kanaka, once escaping Dunwall, like, it's vibrant, it's bright, it's dense in, like, a good way. As in, like, all characters are running around doing their thing, they're having their own conversations. The world is gritty, and it feels real, and it feels lived in. And it looks pretty good. Like, we did have a couple of frame rate problems where it would kind of dip during, like, high combat situations. But yeah, in terms of, like, its visual fidelity, it's really quite strong. It has this very Old English style mixed with, like, a bit of steampunk. So it's kind of really rad.
Nice. And what about the storyline? Once you progress past the opening throne room scene and go through the story, did you get to levels where Corvo's story was different to Emily's and have different cutscenes?
No, they're pretty much identical.
Oh.
Like, as in to the sentence. Like, some parts, like,
So you meet characters that say the exact same thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, or you'll say the exact thing back to them, which is fine, because you can't... The game would be massive if that were the case. But however, like, there are changes, like, depending on how you play through it. So if you were to play through it in high chaos, if you were to walk through the city streets, there would be people going, holy crap, and they'd be talking about this, like, intense battle that went down. So it is sort of that. Like, so if I played really stealthy with Corvo, and I played high chaos with Emily, I would get a different world feel.
What level did you play it on?
Easy? I played it on normal.
Normal.
Yeah.
So what is it? Easy?
Easy, normal, and hard.
Okay.
So easy,
That's pretty good. Normal's not too bad.
Yeah, normal's not too bad. Like, I don't know what hard was, but if I was playing hard, I would have given up.
Yeah. And how long does the campaign go for?
I'm going to about, depending on how you play, about 12 to 20 hours. It's a big difference, but the whole idea is you can either just run through the story, but when you get into the open hub world like Kanaka, you can just go around and do whatever you want.
So other than repetitive playing as a different character, are there achievements you can unlock, or are there collectibles you can collect along the way?
100%. So with your supernatural powers, one thing you need to get is these thing called runes. So these runes are essentially like your points, your tokens. So, like, exchange 3 runes for this power. Like, I want the power that makes me into like a shadow, and I just crawl along the ground, and then I pick people up and stab them. I'm like, oh, that's 4 runes. Bing! And then you have a thing called bone charm as well, which is sort of like temporary runes.
Okay. Is there a multiplayer?
No, there isn't. It's like I said, it's one thing that Bethesda do quite well, is they're very single-player orientated games. And this is pretty much up there as well.
And is it online 2-player?
No,
It's not multiplayer.
Not playing
Can't even do 2-player campaign. Interesting.
But in terms of the story, as we mentioned, like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's by the numbers, because it's pretty unique, but it's hand-holdy, and it's incredibly exposition heavy. Like, you will say something, like, it's almost like Emily says exactly what she's thinking. So she's like, man, I feel afraid. And you're like, okay. And, like, in between, when you start every mission, there's, like, a motion comic. In motion comic, it's like, it's even grittier, like, it's even, like, in high detail than that. It's like, I was afraid because of this and this, and the crown, because, like, which is really handy. Like, if you forgot everything, and you went back, and then you went, oh, I'm going to play that next mission. Oh, yeah. But, like, when you're playing in one session, you're like, killing me, man. I get it. The crown killer, you want to get him. You need to go save this guy. Like, just do it.
Yeah, don't stop talking about it. Again. Is it very, like, you walk 40 meters, do a stealth, and then kill, walk 40 meters, kill? Like, the Halo games are a lot like, there's a corridor.
Like waves,
then
sort of.
You're in, like, a room, and it's kill room. Like, even in Uncharted, you know when you get to the blocks, it's like, here we go.
You're like, there's waist-high ledges.
There's like explosive barrels there for no reason. There's going to be a gun
Very
battle.
suspicious battle.
Yeah. Is it like that?
Yes and no. Like, some rooms, as you enter a room, you're like, all right, there's got to be dudes here. Like, you're entering the foyer.
But what are you doing when you're not stabbing people? Because there seems to be a lot of stabbing. What do you do when you're not stabbing people?
Traversing, collecting runes. Like
can you, like, mirror's edge it up things?
Yeah, 100%. So the one thing that this game does exceptionally well is freedom of movement. Like, you're obviously using your powers on it, you can move up and down, and, like, it's very vertical. So I could be like, pew, and I'm on top of that building. I'm like, what's up? And then I jump across.
But what do you do? Just, like, the reach thing?
Yeah, just use the reach thing.
Can you also climb up?
Not really. Like, you can jump and climb and stuff, but not in the same parkour way of, like, Assassin's Creed or something.
Yeah.
Like, you have to use those powers to your benefit.
Okay.
But that's really handy because like you can approach the same situation multiple different ways. You can walk in the front door and stab everyone, or you can like go from window to window and then into the room and out the room, and it's kind of fun that way.
And outside of the city of Kanaka, does it evolve to like the sewers of Kanaka or rooftops?
Well,
is it all just like castles?
It's a little bit different. So Kanaka itself is sort of the central world hub. So that's where all the open world-ish stuff happens. And then when you go to each sort of mission off that. When you go to, say, it's like the Institute sort of thing is what it's called.
Barocca?
Yeah, the Barocca Institute. So you go in there and you're in a big old rundown hotel mansion thing. Hospital.
Is this the one that had that weapon where you could see...
Yes.
Talk about that. That's awesome.
That's pretty far down the way, and I didn't unlock it.
What?
That's the best thing about this game as well in terms of its powers. Like, there is no way that you will unlock everything in that one playthrough.
Yeah.
Like,
but can you take the weapons you earn and play the campaign again?
I didn't play it. So I played it the once, and then I went and started with Corvo, so it would have been different.
Yeah, from fresh.
Like, an example is with God of War, right? When you play God of War, you can max all your weapons in one playthrough. Yeah. Where it's just like you really have to select what you want to do, and you have to select how it fits your way of play.
Okay.
Sounds
like stabbing is your specialty.
Yeah, stabbing and using my powers, like my supernatural selections were very based on how can I get out of this situation? How can I hide from this situation? Yeah, I was like,
how can I stay the furthest away from...
Yeah, how can I get out of this once I stab a dude, really hard? But depending on where you go, so the Institute is one thing, and then there's the Clockwork Mansion, which is the demo that we played at EB Expo, where the map changes constantly. Ooh. Like, the mansion is literally all like a giant cog, so you pull a lever and it's like, the room changes.
Nice.
So you're always on your toes with that one, which is really, really fun.
Are there puzzles that you have to solve?
Not in this. Depends on how you define puzzles. There's like different ways you approach things, and that's a puzzle in itself. But
more like,
you're talking like Uncharted puzzles,
kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
not really. Okay. What about the score? Any good?
Yeah, music's pretty solid, actually.
Voice acting, other than the poor script.
The voice acting is solid. The voice acting is really good. Like, there's Rosario Dawson's in there, Vince D'Onofrio's in there as well, which I didn't pick up. I'm like, I know that voice. I know. That's why I IMDb'd it. I'm like, get out, that is Vince D'Onofrio. I'm like,
that's pretty good.
So, like, the voice acting is pretty solid, and Rosario Dawson's character is probably the most compelling out of all of them, I guess.
Who's she play?
She plays, the name eludes me, but she's a woman who's, like, missing an arm, and she's, like, the boat. So she's one of your key travel locations. So you talk to her, and she gives you a lot of exposition.
Nice.
Yeah.
And score?
What would I score out of 10?
Oh, no, the score of
the musical
game.
Score?
Yeah.
The musical score is pretty solid. It didn't blow me away, but I didn't notice it, which is good, which means it helped. I find with a score, if you don't notice it, it's doing its job. It's giving you what you want, but it's not jarring, it's not in your face, and it's not bad enough to sort of get your attention.
Okay, so how many stabs out of 5 would you give it?
How many stabs? Well, here's Pop Culture, we do 10 currently.
I thought we were doing 5.
We're doing 5 in the new year, 10's
Oh,
10.
sorry, we're back on 10. Okay, so how many stabs out of 10 would you give it?
Look, so this game was really tough. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. But I want to try score it on as a game rather than my emotional connection to it. If I was giving it an emotional response, I didn't enjoy it that much. I would probably give it, say, like a 6. But because it is 100% a well-made game. Like, the game is excellent. Like, it works, it plays well, and if you really are into stealth-based games, this is for you. Mm-hmm. So I would easily give this game like a good 8.5.
Ooh.
Like, even so, once again, that's approaching from a critical standpoint. Like, look, it wasn't entirely my game, but it is 100% a great game.
Was there any farming in the game?
No, which is probably why I didn't rate it so high.
Yeah, it probably goes down 2.5 points.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, it would have been 10 if it was, Dishonored Farming Edition.
Yeah.
2017.
Expansion, maybe.
Yeah, maybe down the line.
Nice.
So yeah, that was our discussion on Dishonored 2. Once again, thank you very much to Reboot PR and Bethesda for giving us the code to this game. I quite enjoyed it. And I also hated it. It's really tough, actually. Because there was this, and then I died 18 times. And then I was like, I'm going to leave this. And then I put it down. But then I came back. That was the best thing about this game. Is you put the controller down, you leave it, you come back like the next day, you're fresh, and you tackle it, and you get it. Because you have to think about it. You have to think about it in a new way. And that part was really cool. I'm Ryan Besson.
I'm Dylan Button.
Dishonored 2.